Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Homeopathy World. In today's lecture we are going to study the Poison Act 1919. This particular video is a part of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology series. The Poison Act 1919 is a very important act. So let us start this act by studying the title and extent. Now the title is nothing but the name of the act and how it should be called. So this act may be called the Poisons Act 1919. Now the extent of this act is that it extends to whole India except for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now you have to remember in all the acts that all the acts extend to whole of India but excluding or except the state of Jammu and Kashmir, because the state of Jammu and Kashmir are having a different rules and regulations, and the way the acts are followed there is a little bit different than the whole of India. So the severity of these acts is more in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Again, even if it's excluding Jammu and Kashmir, but it includes the act when it relates to importation of the poisons in India. So suppose somebody is importing the poison in India through the state of Jammu and Kashmir, then this act will extend there also. We'll see what are the power of state government to regulate the possession for sale of any poison. So what is the role of state government in the sale of any poison? So the state government may regulate whole or any territory of the state under the administration for sale, wholesale or retail of any specified poison. Now firstly, it can grant license to possess a particular poison for sale, wholesale or retail and charges fee for the license. So suppose if a person wants to sell, want to wholesale or want to retail a poison, the state government can grant that particular license to any kind of a person. Now this particular license is having fees, so the state government charges a particular amount for this license. So next is the class of a person to whom it should be granted. Now whenever the license is granted by the state government, the background of that particular person who wants this license is checked. Bank details, they check his transport details, they check whether his business is legal, illegal, they check all these things and then they grant this person the license. Now third is the class of whom it should be sold. Now the state government can regulate and give a protocol that this particular product should be sold to these particular people only. Like for example, they can regulate the sale of poison to people who are above the age of 18 or to people who are not having any severe or incurable diseases, or to people who are not buying more than this particular amount of quantity. So they can regulate that whom it should be sold to, whether it's about age, whether it's about quantity, whether it's about why, the reason why they want that particular poison, why they want to purchase it, that is also very important. Now the state government can regulate the maximum quantity sold to one person. So for example, it's about suppose it's about acid, nitric acid or any other kind of poison. They can give a maximum quantity, like it should not be sold more than 10 ml or it should not be sold more than 100 ml, like that. Okay, or 1 gram or 10 gram, like that. State government has authority of safe custody, labeling, packaging and transport of poisons. So they can check whether the safe custody is provided, whether the labeling is proper and whether it's unlabeled or whether it's wrongly labeled, and whether the packaging is not proper and whether the transport of the poisons is not authorized. Now the state government also has the authority to inspect and examine any kind of poison which is in possession of a vendor. So if somebody is selling the poison, the state government authorities can go and inspect the poison, the quality of the poison, and examine the poison which is in possession of the seller or vendor. Now the state government also has a power to prohibit importation into India except under license. So if at all there is unauthorized importation or somebody is trying to bring the poison to India from different other countries, they can prohibit it, they can stop it, because it should be with license. So if at all a person without license is importing poison into India from different countries, they can stop that, they can prohibit it. So state government has a power to regulate the possession of poison in certain areas. So suppose there is a certain area where there is a more Naxalite activities or more unlawful activities going on. So they can regulate the possession of poison there. They can reduce the possession of poison there. They can limit the possession of poisons in that certain areas. Now, the state government also can regulate penalty for unlawful importation without license. Now, suppose if somebody is carrying the poison without license, so the penalty will be decided by the state government for this unlawful importation. Now, if at all the quantity is less, the penalty will be less. The quantity is more, the penalty will be more. If the poison is more dangerous to be imported, then the penalty will be more. The state government will decide the penalty for this unlawful importation. So it's all depending upon the state government whether they want to take more penalty, they want to take less penalty for importation of poison without license. So on first conviction, generally speaking, on first conviction there is imprisonment, that is the person will be prisoned, which can extend to 3 months, or will be a fine of 500 rupees, or both. So who has the power to issue these warrants? Means the power to issue the warrants is issuing warrants against people who are unauthorized in selling poisons or do not have or do not possess a license to sell poison. So the power to issue these warrants is with the district magistrate and the sub-divisional magistrate. They can issue the warrants. But in a presidency town, what is a presidency town? The town, the place where the president stays. Okay, that is a presidency town. The Commissioner of Police also has the authority to issue a warrant for the search of any place in which he has a reason to believe that the poison exists. So if the Commissioner of Police gets an information or he has a reason to believe that this particular person is hiding poison in his possession, he can issue a warrant for that person to search any place which he might have a reason to believe that the poison exists. Now, repealing of Act 1 of 1904, that is, this act was repealed by Repealing Act of 1927. Savings. Now, what are savings? Savings is, even if the person is possessing poison, this act might not apply to that person. When it cannot extend to anything done in good faith, like for medical or veterinary purposes. So if at all you are giving poison which is medically applicable to certain conditions or veterinary purposes, this act may not be applied to you. And this act shall not be deemed to be applied to article or class of articles of commerce specified. What are commerce specified? Basically, if you know anything about shaping the glass or cutting of the glass, so when they cut the glass, they sometimes use this acid to break the glass. So that is like a commerce specified. So this particular acid is a poison but it is used for commercial purpose. It is used for cutting of the glass. So that is how it can be a poison, but it is also for the use of commerce. So this was all about the Poison Act 1919. It is a very important act. Please go through it, and if you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section below, and do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon to get the notification on our latest updates. Thank you.